live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This morning we begin with a live look at the fire still burning at a Richmond, Indiana plastic recycling plant.
Yeah, that's right. You can see there is still a lot of smoke out there. It's still a big mess as crews continue to work to put out that fire. We're going on 2 days dealing with this, and our crews have been out there following along with the latest, and we're going to continue to have this shot up for you guys so you can keep up with it throughout the morning.
Now, no school again today for Richmond Community Schools. They made this post on Facebook saying they encourage everyone to follow the shelter-in-place order still in effect from the Emergency Management Agency.
The evacuation zone remains the same this morning. It's half a mile from the site of the fire. You can see it right there on your screen. Anyone that area without a place to stay can go to Oak Park Pentecostal Church.
The Wayne County Emergency Management Agency says the EPA is monitoring the air in the area. So far, the samples are picking up smoke as expected, and they're also looking for combustion expected from the plastics fire. So far, they haven't found any of those specific toxic compounds in their air monitoring. Now, city leaders are urging you to stay away from the area of the fire, but if you are around it, wear a mask, a cloth, and surgical mask will filter out larger particles, and smaller particles will require an N95 mask. If you find yourself in a plume of smoke, get out and seek safety.
This morning, we're hearing from people living in the community. One person in Richmond tells us he doesn't feel safe.
Have you been able to drive by your home at all or see kind of what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just a big smoke cloud coming up through the backyard.
So you don't feel safe staying there?
No.
The city of Richmond set up a community helpline. The number is on your screen right now. It's 765-973-9300. The city also has a web page for more information. You can find it by heading to the city's website at richmondindiana.gov.
As we get more updates from the aftermath of this fire, we will alert you both on air and our Dayton 24/7 Now app. With the app, you can get breaking news alerts sent to the palm of your hand. Just take out your camera and scan the QR code that you see right there on your screen to download the app. You can also find it in Google Play and Apple app stores. And of course, we'll also be providing updates on social media. Make sure you follow and like the pages you see on your screen right now to get the latest information.
Well, another nice day on the way. Cool start to our morning. So heading out the door, you may need a light sweater or a jacket, especially for the kids heading out to the bus stop. We're hanging out in the 50s and 40s right now. 46 in Troy. That's one of our cooler spots. In fact, 42 in Xenia, so a little bit chillier there. But again, as I mentioned, cool this morning, but we're going to warm up very nicely by later into the day. So kids heading out to the bus stop, plan on temperatures that will be around 50 degrees in the morning, but notice how by 11 a.m., so around lunchtime, upper 60s. Recess, definitely going to be outside for today. It's just going to be a beautiful one. But we do have some rain that will be back in the picture by as early as tomorrow. So coming up, I'll have a look at that and a look at our 7-day. And that's a look at your weather. Here's a quick look at what's going on the roads. There is some construction, overnight construction on 75 that could cause delays, but overall it's looking pretty smoothly right now. We'll keep you posted if we start to see anything pop up.
Looking now at the Miami Valley Jail's website here behind me, this man from Piqua is now sentenced to 3 years in prison. Scott Freeze was found guilty of several charges related to stealing money from 8 people through fraudulent investments. He's ordered to pay over $400,000 in fines and court costs.
The Warren County Sheriff's Office needs your help now finding a wanted criminal. This man right here, Tyler James Hagens, is wanted for rape and pandering obscenities involving a minor. He's 5'7", 190 pounds, has black hair. He has brown eyes and a tattoo on his right forearm with the name Ty on it. The sheriff's office says Hagen could be driving this car you see right there on your screen. It's a 2011 black Chevrolet Impala. He is armed and dangerous, and he has family and friends in the Forest Park area.
Today, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be in Butler County delivering the keynote speech at the county Republican Party's annual Lincoln Day dinner. The fundraising dinner will be at the Savannah Center in Westchester Township. Now, DeSantis hasn't formally announced his candidacy for the 2024 presidential race, but many say it's inevitable. There are 4 GOP candidates that have formally announced they're running right now, including Vivek Ramaswamy, a Cincinnati entrepreneur and author. The Lincoln Day dinner will include a VIP reception at 5:30 and a general reception at 6. The dinner and program start at 7.
We now want to give you a live look at our nation's capital. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan subpoenaed the head of the Federal Trade Commission over an investigation into Elon Musk. The Republican claims the investigation into Musk's purchase of Twitter is an abuse of power and demands the agency turn over documents related to the probe. A spokesperson for the FTC says the agency previously offered to brief Jordan on the investigation, but Jordan's subpoena says the agency's compliance has been lacking.
Ohio Lieutenant Governor John Husted is stopping by the Kettering Fairmont Career Technology Center today. He's starting an advanced manufacturing program there. This is the latest effort to help pass a new $300 million budget to expand career tech in Ohio.
Yesterday, our Dayton 24/7 Now team participated in a company-wide day of service. Our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, does this every year. And we went out to the Dayton Food Bank to help sort donations and pack boxes of food. It was a great day to support the community and give back. The food bank says right now they're in need of canned fruit and items that are high in protein like peanut butter, beans, and canned meats. Donations benefit 98 hunger relief programs in Montgomery, Greene, and Preble counties. You can drop off donations at the food bank's warehouse on Armour Place in Dayton. Their hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4, and Friday from 9 to 2. And, you know, we were out there yesterday, and it was just great to see how much effort goes into making sure families get fed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can tell all of those volunteers and people with the food bank are so passionate about helping, and they really kept us moving. We were working hard.
Yeah, that was the first time I volunteered at the food bank, and I say if you have a chance to do it, it's an awesome experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons of food going out, so that's great.
Our time right now is 5:06. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A wild twist in the criminal case against former President Donald Trump. Just ahead, Scott Thuman examines a new lawsuit against Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
This morning, people living in South Florida are dealing with major flooding. You can see on these posts from Twitter, days of nonstop rain turned roads into rivers. Some areas saw more than a foot of rain in 24 hours. The Fort Lauderdale airport is closed through at least this afternoon because the surrounding roads are flooded. We're not seeing that here, though.
No, thankfully we're
Thankfully.
not. But I mean,
No.
I will say it has been a wet early spring here in the
Yeah.
Miami Valley. We've had a good week so far.
Yeah, I will have to say this 7-day forecast that we had pretty much all week long has been probably one of the best that we'll see for the entire year. Not very often we get low humidity, sunshine, 70s, so we'll take it.
It's the Super Bowl of forecast. I mean,
pretty much
I'm all
is.
about that life.
Yeah. And actually, that storm system is our next weather maker that is going to bring a few showers. It's not going to be anything like that, but it is going to bring a few showers back into the area as we do head into this upcoming weekend, as early as tomorrow, in fact. So here's a look at what's going on. Radar showing things quiet currently, lots of sunshine, but notice down to our south, that is the system that brought that rain to Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be traveling northeastward, not going to be as strong, but it is going to have cloud cover and also a few showers to head its way into the area along with it. So we will be tracking that closely, and you'll see that here. Cloud cover building in for our Friday, so this is 5 p.m. tomorrow. Spotty shower or two around the area, and we'll continue that spotty shower chance into our Saturday, but really both Friday and Saturday still warm, upper 70s. Other than a spotty shower, it's looking really good. Grilling outside, pretty much anything outside, still looking really good for that. But by Sunday, our next weather maker moves in. This is going to be a cold front that sends widespread rain into the area, especially first half of the day. Rain is expected. Colder air takes over, so you can see here Monday morning, lingering showers in the morning, snow just off to our north. So this is going to have some colder air behind this system, and we'll start to see temperatures fall as we start off next week. Not going to be terribly cold or anything, but for today, we will enjoy those upper 70s tonight, dropping down into the 50s. Clouds increase. As I mentioned, a few showers with increasing clouds tomorrow, mostly cloudy. There's a look at that extended forecast. So the rain on Sunday, cooler back into the mid-50s on Monday, rebounding into the 60s by Wednesday. That's a look at our forecast. Here's a quick look at what's going on our roads. Shaping up nicely, but we do have some construction going on 75, both north and southbound, which could cause a few delays, but that will be opening back up as we head into the morning hours. But overall, looking pretty good.
The criminal case against former President Donald Trump is taking another turn. This as the district attorney pursuing a conviction is suing Ohio Republican Representative Jim Jordan.
Last week, a grand jury indicted Trump, alleging he illegally paid an adult film star hush money to cover up an alleged affair days before the 2016 election. Scott Thuman shows us how the battle is entering another unusual phase.
The fight over the former president's legal battle in New York taking another Trump-like unpredictable turn. Alvin Bragg, the district attorney, is now suing Republican Congressman Jim Jordan as Jordan tries to force Bragg's former colleague to appear on Capitol Hill. Jordan believes he can prove the Trump investigations are politically motivated by questioning Mark Pomerantz, who resigned last year because he felt Bragg wasn't aggressive enough in pursuing Trump.
And then when we ask questions about it, when we want to investigate, he takes us to court.
In the suit, Bragg insists there's no bias, that the Manhattan DA's office focuses on the law and the evidence, not political gamesmanship or threats. Adding a subpoena would be unconstitutional.
I expect, Scott, that a judge is going to say Mr. Pomerantz has to testify. I think if judges started meddling in what Congress can and cannot do, then I think Congress would really get bogged down.
Trump weighing in for the first time since his indictment.
What they're doing is weaponizing the system, and there's never been anything like it.
Bragg has become a constant target for conservatives who point out he ran for office boasting of his ability to go after Trump and would again if that's where the facts lead him.
I'm the candidate in the race who has the experience with Donald Trump. We sued the Trump administration over 100 times.
Trump also complaining Bragg indirectly received campaign funds from progressive billionaire George Soros. And as the politics overshadow courts, Congressman Jordan heading to New York next week to highlight the city's unsafe streets.
Where you have some left-wing prosecutor who thinks it's more important to focus on politics than it is to keep bad guys off the streets.
All the while, Trump's future hanging in the balance. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
Former President Donald Trump is suing his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. The $500 million contract claims a breach of contract. The lawsuit accuses Cohen of breaching his attorney-client relationship with the former president. The lawsuit claims Cohen spread falsehoods about Trump. One of the examples given was that Cohen called Trump racist in his book titled Disloyal, which was released in 2020.
Our time right now is 5:17. A program is helping kids in Ohio. Just ahead, Miles Harris takes a look at the Buckeye Ranch and its impact on the foster care system.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
today we're discussing one of the most important parts of your home. Well, it's not the most glamorous. If it's not taken care of, your home could have major damage. Any guesses? We're talking roofs, and most importantly, signs that it might be time to replace yours. To start, you're going to want to do an interior check by going up in the attic with a flashlight to look for stains, streaks, and beams of light. I'd also look for water damage in areas that might be sagging. Seeing issues on the interior can help locate the problem on the outside. Next, on the exterior, keep an eye on the shingles, look for patches with cracks, buckling, or damage. While these are just initial indicators, there are many other signs to look out for. Need a hand? We have pros here to help.
At Expert Roofing, we can spot a leak a mile away, but we'd rather do it up on your roof. With a free roof assessment from Expert Roofing, we can identify trouble areas and pinpoint any leaks. So contact Expert Roofing for a free roof assessment. One call today can save you.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Well, it's now time for our pet of the day, and we have an adorable one today. I mean, they're all adorable, but this is Chaplin. Check out him. He is ready for summer. He has the sunglasses, the hat on, ready for a day like today, because it is going to be almost a little bit summer-like. But this is Terry's sweet pup. You can see right there. Thank you for sharing Chaplin with us. It's going to be a beautiful day for a walk. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s by 10 a.m. and then climbing into the upper 70s as we head into the afternoon. That's with lots of sunshine in the forecast as well. So going to be overall a great one. And I'm going to step out of the way of Chaplin so you can see him another time, because again, he's ready, wearing the shades, which you'll need for today with that sunshine. For today, though, again, topping out at 79, close to 80 degrees with that sunshine. Hopefully you can get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather for today. I'll have a look at that 7-day coming up here in just a little bit. All right, that's a look at our forecast. Quick look at the roads this morning. Still looking pretty good. There is still some construction going on 75 north and southbound. So if you're heading that direction, just expect Potentially some delays there, but it hasn't been causing any issues as of yet. But I'll keep you posted for the rest of the morning.
Moderna hopes to offer a new set of life-saving vaccines targeting cancer, heart disease, and previously untreatable conditions by the year 2030. A company spokesperson told CNBC that advancements in what's called messenger RNA technology since the beginning of the pandemic have ushered a new golden age for new vaccines. The remarks come ahead of Moderna's Vaccine Day today. At the annual event, the company typically presents updates on vaccine development. About 2 in 5 surveyed people have used online information in lieu of visiting their physician, with the average person self-diagnosing 4 times in the past year based on information found online. A recent survey by OnePoll on behalf of Bayer for American Heart Month revealed that nearly 3/4 of people surveyed felt at least somewhat well informed about their family's health history, although men were more confident in their knowledge than women. New data reveals that video is the future of youth soccer, and thanks to AI technology, putting the video focus on the individual is reaping benefits for coaches, players, and parents. Trace, a sports technology company, just released a new nationwide survey of youth soccer club directors. It found video technology and AI can accelerate both recruiting and player development. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Joya Doss, and here's to your health.
Programs helping children move from the foster care system to living on their own. Miles Harris shares how counselors with the Buckeye Ranch are building a safe place for kids to succeed.
Transitioning into adulthood can be a real challenge, especially if you don't have the resources needed. And unfortunately, for a number of kids in foster care, that's the case. But My Place is a program that's doing more than just putting a roof over their head, but it's giving them the resources and tools needed for that next step in life.
I usually look at this picture when I wake up because it helps motivate me.
The Buckeye Ranch is creating that safe space for kids 16 to 21, where they not only have temporary housing, but they learn important life skills and lessons about how to deal and manage money, about job searching, but more importantly, setting them up for the next step in life in efforts and hopes that they succeed. On your side, I'm Miles Harris for Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Our time right now is 5:24. Still to come this morning, we want to give you a live look from Richmond, Indiana at this hour. You see lots of lights there by the scene of a massive industrial fire. A lot of smoke this morning as we're waking up. We're continuing to monitor this story closely, and we'll have updates coming up.
In today's Tech Bites, NPR leaves Twitter. The news outlet will no longer post on the platform after Twitter labeled it state-affiliated media, a term used for communist propaganda news sites. NPR says the government funding it receives is less than 1% of its budget. You can now prove that you are who you say you are on LinkedIn. The platform unveiled new features to verify your identity and employer, and you get a check mark as evidence. LinkedIn members can confirm their credentials with a code sent to their work email. Finally, an updated national parks feature on Google Maps just in time for summer. Google says park directions are getting more precise, and there's new help to see a park's most popular places. Trail searches now highlight an entire route and elevations, making it easier to know where a trail begins and ends. This is great because mountains aren't funny. They're hill areas. Hill areas. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Nothing drives a wolf more than a desire for meat. Your dog shares the same hunger. So we've added 20% more meat to protein-rich Blue Wilderness. More of what your dog goes wild for. Satisfy his primal desire. Go wild with Blue Wilderness, now with 20% more meat.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy, so you can live your greatness. And Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season now. Like summer-ready dresses starting at $39.99. Up to 60% off designer suits, blazers, and pants. And the Radley sectional for $21.79. Download the app for even more.
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. New York City introducing the city's first ever rat czar. She's tasked with battling more than 2 million rodents in the city. Back off, mice.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Look at those things.
Yeah, these are gross. I think it's gross that they have to have somebody to kill off the rats.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, thank you. And check this out, a goose joining a half marathon in Kansas City. It didn't register for the race, but it did keep up with all of the runners.
See, knowing geese, that thing's probably just mad.
It's just trying to attack
bite
someone.
But hey, if you're the person running
This is
in
actually
front,
really cute, though.
I don't know. Wait till
I do not like
Dude,
geese.
they hiss and they bite.
They're so mean.
Yeah, I'm good. And the Terminator taking on buttholes. Yeah, that's right. I was pretty terrible, wasn't it?
No,
Get in the chopper! Arnold Schwarzenegger is tired of waiting for crews to fill a pothole in his neighborhood, so he took matters into his own hands. Why does he look like the Terminator 24/7? He does.
I imagine every car driving past is like, is that who I think that is?
Is that Arnold? He's like, yes, it's
So
me.
cool.
This morning we begin with a live look at the fire still burning at a Richmond, Indiana plastic recycling plant.
That's right. Here you can see there's still smoke all in the area. This isn't really an ongoing issue for anyone who's within a mile radius. They've been continuing to work to try to make sure this area is secure, but it's going to take a couple of days.
No school again today for Richmond Community Schools. They made this post on Facebook saying that they encourage everyone to follow the shelter-in-place orders still in effect from the Emergency Management Agency.
The evacuation zone remains the same this morning. It's half a mile from the site of the fire. You can see it right there on your screen. Anyone in that area without a place to stay can go to Oak Park Pentecostal Church. Now, people in Richmond are wondering when their lives will be able to return to normal.
Gwyneth Falloon spoke with the community about how this is affecting them.
It's crazy.
Residents still unable to return home Wednesday night. Have you been able to go drive by your home at all or see kind of what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just a big smoke cloud coming up through the backyard.
So you don't feel safe staying there?
No.
Matt Rudisil lives less than a mile away from the recycling plant. He says he, his wife, and their family pets evacuated in just a half hour.
It's very stressful, and not knowing when and seeing the smoke clouds when you're coming from work and back home or back to wherever you're staying at, and not knowing when you're going to be able to get in and out of your home.
Local business owners just outside of the evacuation zone also expressing their concerns.
We started to wonder how far it was going to come.
Owner Rick Schrader tells me he watched the fire rapidly spread from his business, Complete Power, across the street.
We were watching it and had considered evacuating.
Schrader says unfortunately a number of his employees have been displaced and is helping them as necessary, in addition to lending his parking lot as a temporary command post for law enforcement and media.
We were glad to be able to help that we could, provide whether just restroom facilities or electricity or whatever, just to give somebody a chance to get out of the sun.
Residents and community members say the building was mostly unused and abandoned, now demanding answers from the city.
Driving by there all the time, you would see it and you'd be like, that's a fire hazard waiting to happen.
The Wayne County Emergency Management Agency says the EPA is monitoring the air in the area. So far, the samples are picking up smoke as expected, and they're also looking for combustion expected from a plastics fire. So far, they haven't found any of those specific toxic compounds in their air monitoring. Now, city leaders are urging you to stay away from the area of this fire, but if you are around it, wear a mask. A cloth and surgical mask will filter out large particles, and smaller particles will require an N95 mask. Now, if you find yourself in a plume of smoke, get out and seek safety.
Government leaders here in Ohio are being kept in the loop on how the situation has played out. Lieutenant Governor John Husted says he and Ohio Governor Mike DeWine are being briefed on the fire. The lieutenant governor tells us there's a level of concern, especially after February's toxic train derailment in East Palestine.
We want to have a comprehensive investigation done so that we know the facts and that the people in the local communities can be informed about any potential fallout that might have occurred.
He also said an emergency team in Richmond is providing updates to the governor from the scene.
The city of Richmond set up a community helpline. The number's right there on your screen. It's 765-937-9300. And the city also has a web page for more information. You can actually find it by heading to the city's website at richmondindiana.gov.
As we get more updates from this aftermath of the fire, we'll alert you here on air and through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. With the app, you can get breaking news alerts sent to the palm of your hand. Just take out your camera and scan that QR code right there on your screen to download the app. You can also find it in the Google Play and Apple App stores. And we'll also be providing updates on our social media accounts, so be sure to follow and like the pages you see on your screen to get the latest information.
Well, nice one out there for today. Just another picture-perfect afternoon expected. Nice, comfortable morning. Perfect for maybe a cup of coffee with a light sweater or a blanket out on the patio this morning. We have 50s and 40s, 48 in Richmond, 51 Dayton, 48 in Wapakoneta right now. Kids heading out to the bus stop may need a light sweater or a jacket, as we are going to start out the morning right around 50 degrees, but we warm up nicely, so upper 50s by 9 a.m., upper 60s by around lunchtime. Looks like it's a recess outdoors type of day. Going to be a beautiful one. We do eventually get close to 80 degrees by the afternoon. So coming up, I'll have a look at that forecast and what we're expecting for the rest of the week in just a little bit. But for right now, let's take a look at what is going on the roads, where it is calm, quiet conditions across the area on the roads, at least for right now. There is some construction going on 75 north and southbound, so just keep an eye out on that, but that doesn't look like it's causing any delays as of right now.
Here's a live look now at our nation's capital. After a massive leak of classified U.S. military documents, we're now learning the person behind it reportedly worked at a U.S. military base. A Washington Post report says the man posted sensitive national security secrets on the social media platform Discord. It describes the alleged leaker as, quote, a lonely young man and a gun enthusiast who went by the name OG Online. A friend of the man says he allegedly posted transcripts of classified intelligence documents he brought home from his job. The friend wouldn't say the man's identity or location. A Discord spokesperson told CNN they'll cooperate with law enforcement, but declined to comment further. The app has about 150 million monthly users.
Ukrainian leaders say they're not worried about how the recent U.S. intelligence leaks could impact future offensives. The documents reportedly show real-time battlefield positions and supply lists, but the country's defense minister says they've kept the more sensitive information to themselves, and Pentagon officials briefed top members of Congress on their initial findings.
I really do emphasize that right now we just don't know what's out there in its totality, and we just don't know what is authentic and what is not. Now, we better know soon. I'm not apologizing for anybody at the Department of Defense, but right now it's a little too early to start drawing conclusions from what may or may not be authentic intelligence.
These documents also appear to include unreported disclosures on South Korea, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates. Now, federal officials say they are working to stop the flow of classified information onto the internet. A former student teacher at Liberty Junior School in Butler County is avoiding jail time after admitting to having sex with a student. Now, the woman on your screen right now, Anna DeTore, is sentenced to treatment for 6 months. She'll also have to register as a Tier 2 sex offender. Back in February, she pleaded guilty to 1 count of sexual misconduct with a minor and 1 count of sharing material harmful to juveniles. The judge could have sentenced her to up to 2 years in prison, but instead ruled she needed to remain in treatment due to previous trauma.
The World Guard International Championship kicks off today. On your screen now, the locations where the teams will be competing. The WGI Championship brings in a ton of revenue for the city, and teams from across the globe and their fans make the trip to Dayton. The competition lasts for 3 days, and the teams that advance will eventually compete at UD Arena for the title. If you want to see the performances, you can head to the website on your screen, WGI.org, but hurry, tickets are selling out fast.
Our time right now is 5:38. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Take me out to the ball game. The Dragons looking to bounce back at home. Just ahead, highlights from Day Air Ballpark.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Well, nice start to the day. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Maybe needing a light sweater as you head out the door. You can see we're at 51 in Dayton, 46 Springfield, 45 Troy, 48 in Wapakoneta, 48 in Richmond. It has been perfect weather for some baseball, though. All week long has just been great. Last night was good. Pretty much cut and paste type of forecast. So if you wanted to head to the Dayton Dragons game this evening versus the Loons, going to be a beautiful one. 76 around first pitch, upper 60s. Once the sun sets, may get a little cool, maybe needing a light sweater, but really just shaping up beautifully if you wanted to head out to the game this evening. Going to see really nice weather for the rest of the week, too. So if you wanted to head out to the game again, it's looking really nice. All of us sitting a little bit cooler, in fact, compared to this time yesterday, but shaping up nicely. Sun has yet to rise, but of course that will be here shortly, and it should be a pretty spectacular sunrise. So I'll have another look at that and a look at our 7-day coming up.
The Dragons trying to bounce back after falling in the home opener. Let's go to Day Air Ballpark, where it was another sellout crowd. Dayton and Great Lakes playing game 2 of the series. Carson Rudd, the Dragons starting pitcher, had it going on Wednesday, and so did Tyler Callahan, who cleared the bases for a first inning grand slam. The crowd get excited there. It was a great start for the home team. The Dragons going up 4-0. That was all Rudd needed on the mound as the Dragons go on to win their first game of the season. 7-3 is the final. Go Dragons.
Yeah, 5:43 is our time right now. A new way for hackers to steal your data coming up. We explain the term juice jacking and how you can keep your personal information safe.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
It's called juice jacking. Hackers can steal your data just from plugging into a public USB charger at an airport or even the mall. Cassie Arsenault looks into how likely it is your data will be stolen and how vigilant you have to be.
Do you know what juice jacking is?
I've never heard of the term.
I feel like it has something to do with like lifting weights or something.
It involves some sort of theft of a juice-like substance. That's as far as I'm willing to go.
You know, I'm a tinfoil hat guy. I've been aware of this juice jacking concept for a long time.
The concept of juice jacking is nothing new. It's been around for a few years. But this recent tweet from the FBI in Denver is reigniting the concept and the caution you should take, reminding people not to use USB charging stations because fraudsters can steal information or plant malware on your device. Public USB outlets are a no, but an electrical wall outlet poses no threat. I reached out to the FBI to see if there was a recent sting of hacks or cases that made them put out the warning. They sent me this statement saying, the FBI regularly provides reminders and public service announcements in conjunction with our partners. This is a general reminder for the American public to stay safe and diligent while traveling. We refer you to the FCC for any further information.
As a regular person, if you just plug your phone into the charging station at the airport, are you likely to get hacked? Probably not, but it is a real thing.
How often do you use public USB ports?
Only at airports.
I don't know that I do, just because I'm not industrious enough to have a phone charger with me ever.
So here's what you can do. Always carry your block to plug into a wall outlet, or you can buy special cables that block the transfer of information, or buy a portable battery charger.
I think, sadly, we're in an age where you just have to be extremely skeptical and understand that, while all this technology brings an amazing amount of convenience, it also comes with a whole lot of new risks. And the bad guys are generally really smart, really devious, very creative about this stuff. And, they're going to come at you any way they can.
Well, a nice one across the Miami Valley for today. Beautiful weather, blue skies expected by the afternoon. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Pretty much cut and paste type of day is in the forecast. So bigger picture here, this is our next weather maker. This is actually what brought flooding to parts of Florida and Fort Lauderdale. This is actually our next weather maker that will be traveling its way northward. Not expecting to bring the widespread rain like they're seeing right now, but we are going to be seeing a few showers by Friday and even into our Saturday as well, before we get bigger rain chances by the start of next week. So here's a look at what we're expecting as we move through time. Spotty shower by tomorrow afternoon into the evening. That's about 5 p.m. Cloud cover will be with us. We'll continue to see overall cloudier skies on Saturday, but it's not until Sunday we'll start to see bigger rain chances arrive. This is with a cold front that will bring some widespread precipitation. And then eventually we got some colder air that will make its way in. So potentially some lingering showers as we head into our early Monday time frame. That's just about it. But for tonight, or for today, I should say, getting up into those upper 70s, lots of sunshine tonight, lower 50s. Tomorrow, upper 70s. I mentioned the spotty shower. That's in the forecast too. There's that extended forecast with those upper 70s over these next several days. Rain on Sunday, turning cooler though. Monday back into the upper 50s, which will be back below normal for this time of the year. That's a look at your forecast. Roads still looking pretty good at this time. Haven't had any reports of accidents. There is some construction going on 75, both north and southbound. This is overnight construction, but it doesn't look like it has been causing any delays at this point.
Our time right now is 5:49. The player's daughter taking on thousands just ahead. The young girl going viral following last night's NBA playing game.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a warning from a mother who says she was the victim of a scary scam. Jennifer DeStefano says when she recently received a call from an unknown number, she almost didn't answer. But her 15-year-old daughter, Brianna, was on a skiing trip and she worried it could be an emergency. So she picked up.
It's my daughter's voice crying and sobbing, saying, "Mom." And I'm like, okay, what happened? She's like, "Mom, these bad men have me. Help me, help me."
Within minutes, they confirmed her daughter was safe. She says it was all a scheme using artificial intelligence to replicate her daughter's voice.
I've tried to comb through my head where could they have gotten this, and I cannot figure it out, which is also kind of scary because then you're wondering how much are they paying attention to you.
And coming up at 7 a.m., what you need to know to protect yourself. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Skyrizi is the first and only IL-23 inhibitor for Crohn's that can deliver both clinical remission and endoscopic improvement. The majority of people on Skyrizi achieve long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi. Learn how
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning, everyone. Beautiful morning on our Watson's weather patio. Needing this light jacket at this time, but I think next time I'm out here, I'm gonna get myself a hot cup of coffee and maybe just chill out here for a little bit because it's feeling pretty nice. Currently, we're in the 50s, but we warm up nicely into the afternoon. Some spots in the 40s at this time. By around 9 a.m., we're going to be in the mid-50s, so we warm up nicely. Lunchtime, we're tracking lower 70s. That's with a lot of sunshine in the forecast. Upper 70s by later into the afternoon. And again, wall-to-wall sunshine is expected, hardly a cloud in the sky. Now, looking into our early Friday morning, we will see temperatures that will be back down into the 50s, but cloud cover builds in, and we're also tracking a spotty shower or two by our Friday afternoon as our next weather maker approaches. Not going to be a washout by any means, but can't rule out a shower during the day on Friday. Now, once we do have overall a cold front move through by the start of next week, rain on Sunday, temperatures do fall back into the mid-50s on Monday, but we rebound pretty quickly up to the 60s again by the middle of next week. I'll have a look at our 7-day coming up here in just a bit.
Take a look at this. Meet Pearl. Oh my goodness, the world's shortest dog. She's a 2-year-old Chihuahua from Orlando, Florida, shorter than a popsicle stick and only about as long as a dollar bill. They better keep her away from the gators. The pocket-sized pup is the new official holder of the Guinness World Record for shortest dog alive and is actually related to the previous record holder, Miracle Millie, who had the same owner. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, Florida's the least safe place for that dog.
Yeah.
Behind me, a look at the Bleacher Report Twitter page. The Toronto Raptors taking on the Chicago Bulls last night in the NBA play-in game. It was a tough night at the free throw line for the Raptors, but we want to give you some sound on those misses. Take a listen.
In a uniform, a work uniform.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that person's that person screaming at the home team is the daughter of Bulls star DeMar DeRozan. Her screeches, they worked as the Raptors were in an awful 18 of 36 from the line and lost to the Bulls by 4. Now, DeRozan, who used to play for Toronto, was hesitant to let his daughter come to the game, but was thrilled to make the trip. The Bulls move on in the playoffs and take on the Miami Heat on Friday. And you know, they asked if she was going to be going to the game on Friday to help out her dad's team, but she actually lives in Toronto and she has school, so she will not be screeching.
Yeah. Well, her technique worked, so.
It'd be so horrifying to hear a little kid go,
screeching at the top of her lungs.
Yeah.
I would think she was in pain.
Do your kids cheer on? Like, I mean,
I'm
what do you
trying
think
to
they would do?
You know, I feel like my daughter, my oldest, is my biggest fan. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to like clap while I'm doing the weather.
Yes, Mom.
I could imagine her getting into it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my littlest one, he's 2, and when I pop up on the screen, he goes, "Dada!" And I'll take that.
That's really cute.
That's
yeah,
good.
he'd probably scream for you too.
Yeah.
If you're playing basketball.
Definitely. Your children would definitely scream.
Well, he's like a feral animal, so I'd believe it. We got a lot more coming up on ABC 22 in the morning at 6.
Here's a live look out of Richmond, Indiana, where the fire crews are still working on that fire at a recycling plant. We're going to have the latest for you coming up next.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This morning, we start with a live look at the fire still burning at a Richmond, Indiana recycling plant.
Here you can see smoke still very heavy in the area as crews continue to work to put out that fire. It's been an ongoing battle for the last couple of days.
Now, no school again today for Richmond Community Schools. They made this post on Facebook saying they encourage everyone to follow the shelter-in-place order still in effect from the Emergency Management Agency.
The evacuation zone remains the same this morning. It's half a mile from the site of the fire. You can see it right there on your screen. Anyone in that area without a place to stay can go to Oak Park Pentecostal Church.
The Wayne County Emergency Management Agency says the EPA is monitoring the air in the area, and so far the samples are picking up smoke as expected. They're also looking for combustion expected from the plastics fire. So far, they haven't found any of those specific toxic compounds in the air monitoring.
Our goal is to ensure that this community stays safe, and so we've been on site since the beginning, and we're going to stay there until we can assure that this community is not seeing any threats from the air quality implications here.
City leaders are urging you to stay away from the area of this fire, but if you are around it, wear a mask. A cloth and surgical mask will filter out large particles. Smaller particles will require an N95 mask. If you find yourself in a plume of smoke, get out and seek safety.
People living in the area are still concerned for their safety. Many say they knew the plastic recycling plant was, quote, a fire hazard waiting to happen.
Gwyneth Falloon brings us the latest from Wayne County.
Residents tell me they are both frustrated and concerned. One lifetime Richmond resident says the city knew this site was a danger to the community. Matt Rudisil and his wife packed up, gathered their family pets, and drove to his brother's house a safe distance away, all in about 30 minutes Tuesday afternoon. Have you been able to drive by your home at all or see kind of what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just a big smoke cloud coming up through the backyard.
So you don't feel safe staying there?
No.
One business owner with a shop located just on the evacuation border tells me he watched the fire start and then rapidly spread within just 10 minutes. It is about 11 at night and crews are still on the scene. You can see smoke and some orange behind me, but we're going to continue to follow this story and bring you the latest information as soon as it becomes available. Reporting in Richmond, Indiana, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
The city of Richmond set up a community helpline. The number's right there on your screen. It's 765-937-9300.
I will just tell you that the business owner is responsible for this mess, responsible for the disaster, and responsible for putting everyone in danger, from our first responders to our citizens.
The city of Richmond set up a community helpline. That number is on your screen right now. It's 765-973-9300. The city also has a web page for more information. You can find it by heading to the city's website at richmondindiana.gov.
As soon as we get more updates from this aftermath of the fire, we'll alert you here on air and through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. With that app, you can get breaking news alerts sent to the palm of your hand. Just take out your camera and scan the QR code that you see on your screen to download the app. You can also find it in Google Play and Apple app stores. Also, we'll be providing updates on our social media accounts. Make sure you follow and like the pages you see on their screen right now to get the latest information.
Well, nice cool start to our morning, maybe needing a light sweater as you head out the door, but overall shaping up pretty nicely, and it's going to be just a great day. If you liked yesterday, you'll like today, because pretty much the exact same story for us, maybe even a degree or so warmer. Could see our first 80-degree day of the year. Right now I have upper 70s, but for right now we're in the 50s and 40s. 42 cool spot in Xenia, 46 Richmond, 47 in Eaton. Kids heading out to the bus stop will need a light sweater in the morning, but by the late morning, in fact, by lunchtime, especially upper 60s. So almost a shorts and short sleeves type of day, because we'll warm up pretty quickly. Have a look at that 7-day coming up in just a bit. But here's a look at what's going on the roads. Looking really nice right now. Haven't seen any delays at this time. Looking pretty good across the Miami Valley. There is some construction that was happening on 75 north and southbound, but as it is now the morning hours, that has cleared up.
Looking now at the Miami Valley Jail's website, this man here behind me from Piqua is now sentenced to 3 years in prison of several charges related to stealing money from 8 people through fraudulent investments. He's ordered to pay over $400,000 in fines and court costs.
The Warren County Sheriff's Office needs your help now finding a wanted criminal. This man right near Tyler James Hagans is wanted for rape and pandering obscenities involving a minor. He's 5'7", 190 pounds, and has black hair and brown eyes and a tattoo on his right forearm with the name Ty on it. And the sheriff's office says Hagan could be driving this car on your screen, a 2011 black Chevrolet Impala. He's armed and dangerous and has family and friends in the Forest Park area.
Today, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be in Butler County delivering the keynote speech at the county Republican Party's annual Lincoln Day dinner. The fundraiser dinner will be at the Savannah Center in Westchester Township. DeSantis hasn't formally announced his candidacy for the 2024 presidential race, but many say it's inevitable. There are 4 GOP candidates that have formally announced they're running right now, including Vivek Ramaswamy, a Cincinnati entrepreneur and author. The Lincoln Day dinner will include a VIP reception at 5:30 and a general reception at 6. The dinner and program start at 7.
A live look at the nation's capital right now. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan subpoenaed the head of the Federal Trade Commission over an investigation into Elon Musk. The Republican claims that the investigation into Musk's purchase of Twitter is an abuse of power and demands the agency turn over documents related to the probe. A spokesperson for the FTC says the agency previously offered to brief Jordan on the investigation. But Jordan's subpoena says the agency compliance has been lacking.
Ohio Lieutenant Governor John Husted is the Kettering Fairmont Career Technology Center today. He's starting an advanced manufacturing program there. This is the latest effort to help pass a new $300 million budget to expand career tech in Ohio.
Yesterday, our Dayton 24/7 Now team participated in a company-wide day of service. Our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, does this every single year. We went out to the Dayton Food Bank to help sort donations and pack boxes of food. It was a great day to support the community and give back. Now, the food bank says right now they're in need of canned fruit and items that are high in protein like peanut butter, beans, and canned meats. Donations benefit 98 hunger relief programs in Montgomery, Greene, and Preble counties. You can drop off donations at the food bank's warehouse on Armour Place in Dayton. Their hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4, and Friday, 9 to 2. And it was amazing being out there, being able to help. What struck me, though, was when we showed up, there were like 150 cars in line waiting to get food. There's definitely a need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. People are very, hungry, and the food bank does a lot of work to really support these people, so it's great.
Natalie, you had a great job yesterday.
Yeah, I think we had different tasks, so you guys were making individual boxes. Yeah. We had to sort through everything, kind of categorize it to the beans, vegetables, and as you mentioned, there was a fruit shortage. So as we were going through the cans, very few cans of fruit. So that's something that maybe if you have some extra at home lying around, that maybe you'll want to donate today.
Yeah, do your best, help support the community. Our time right now is 6:08. Don't forget and get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Concerning numbers with kids and social media. Kids spending too much time in front of a screen. Just ahead, Kelly Koopmans looks at how to keep teens safe online.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Beautiful start to our morning. We are looking at sun starting to climb up above the horizon. You can see just a little bit of light out there from our Eco Plumber sky cam. Should be a gorgeous sunrise. Nice morning to just maybe have a cup of coffee outside. Beautiful start to the day overall with our temperatures that are in the 40s and 50s. So you'll need a little sweater if you're heading out there currently, but we warm up very nicely. So it's a layers type of day. Sweater in the morning, afternoon, not quite the case. It's going to be shorts and short sleeves, almost a little warm, summer-like afternoon. So if you thought yesterday was warm, today about the same, but great weather for some baseball. If you wanted to head to the Dayton Dragons game, beautiful forecast for it, tracking mid-70s for the first pitch, upper 60s by the 7th inning. Again, maybe needing a light sweater by the end of the game, but looking pretty good for another game at Day Air Ballpark. Let's look at our forecast. Quick look at what's going on our roads. Haven't seen any reports of accidents, but certainly a little bit more volume out there right now than there was just about 30 minutes ago, even 15 minutes ago. It looks like certainly many more folks heading out to work where they need to go. But other than that, no reports of any accidents this morning.
Our time right now is 6:12. Startling numbers put out by the CDC. Just ahead, the report put out Wednesday and the surprising age gap that is being impacted.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
The suicide rate is climbing in the U.S., reversing a 2-year decline. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released a report Thursday, which showed the rate of suicides returned to a near record high in 2021. The death rate was 4 times higher among men than women that year. It was the 11th leading cause of death nationwide and the 2nd leading cause of death for people between the ages of 10 and 34.
America's teens and kids are using screens and social media more than ever before. The number of hours spent online ballooned during the pandemic.
That's right. Now experts have tips for how parents can keep their kids safe while scrolling. Kelly Koopmans has the details.
A post-pandemic survey showed screen use among kids and teenagers increased 17% from 2019 to 2021. Those 8 to 12 years old logging 5 hours a day, 13 to 18-year-olds spending 7.5 hours a day on screens.
One of the areas where I have some friction with my kids is around screen time usage.
Even internet safety experts like Yaron Litwin know the struggle of managing a child's screen time and online safety. He works for the parental control app Canopy, which filters explicit content and offers tools for screen time management. He says an increase in screen time use is a reflection of difficulties that kids endured during the pandemic with various social disruptions.
And we're seeing more and more of this, perhaps even post-pandemic, where younger teens are actually becoming addicted to this explicit content.
Litwin says about 40% of explicit content is encountered unintentionally, content that he says can trigger a powerful dopamine release.
The new lows are lower, and so there's kind of this constant need to kind of keep looking and looking for even more kind of explicit content that's perhaps even more radical.
To combat it, Litwin says that parents need a two-prong approach, have open and honest conversations with their children, explain the threats, and use software like parental controls to filter explicit content. While there's plenty of evidence to show lots of screen time can be bad for kids, there is no consensus on exactly how much screen time is too much. Kelly Koopmans, Como News.
Well, beautiful start to the day, starting to see just a little bit more light out there as the sun continues to rise on our Eco Plumber Skycam. A little cool, temperatures in the 50s and 40s, but for this time of the year, that's not too bad to start off our day. 47 Springfield, cold spot in Xenia at 42. Mostly clear skies, going to see lots of sunshine today, but we will eventually see cloud cover increase. Our next weather maker, as you can see, is situated to our south. You probably saw some images of the flooding in Fort Lauderdale, part of this weather system that will bring us cloud cover as well as a few showers around the area over these next couple of days. Not a washout by any means, but notice as we head into our Friday afternoon, even around lunchtime, can't rule out a spotty shower or two. We'll continue with the spotty shower chance as we head into Saturday, but it's not until Sunday bigger rain chances arrive as a cold front makes its way in. So this will bring some widespread rain into the area during the day on Sunday. Going to see the showers linger potentially even into Monday morning before colder air that does eventually slide in. So for today, getting into the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Tonight, dropping into the lower 50s. We'll get into the upper 70s with cloudier skies tomorrow, as well as a few showers around with our extended forecast, showing temperatures that will be warm these next several days. That rain on Sunday turning colder by Monday with our highs back into the mid 50s, rebounding to the mid 60s by next Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. Quick look at what's going on the roads this morning. It looks like potentially a little bit of an accident. I'm going to go ahead and see the details on this one at Valley Street and Troy Street. There is an accident reported there, but other than that, no significant delays across the area.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines. A Dayton businessman is once again ranked on Forbes billionaire list. Clay Mattil has a reported net worth of $2.3 billion, making him the 1,312th richest person in the world. Mattil ran IMES for 17 years before P&G acquired the company from him for $2.3 billion, Locally, he's made a big impact. Mattil spent $130 million to launch a Dayton-based school for management training for small business owners and co-founded the Mattil Family Foundation. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com. Just click on the news tab and then select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now is 6:20. A streaming giant getting a new look. Just had the rebrand coming to your screen and the new options viewers will have.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Good morning. Now time for our pet of the day. Cutie for today. This is Chaplin, and he is ready for the warmer weather for today. He has his hat and sunglasses on. Both of those will be needed for today, that's for sure. This is Terry's pup, Cutie. They say they call him Chappy. And it is going to be a nice one today, starting out with temperatures in the 60s. So all day long, great day for a dog walk. We'll be back into the upper 70s, mostly sunny sky all day long. A few more clouds by the evening, but beautiful weather. So thanks for sharing Chaplin with us for our pet of the day. Next 5 days looking pretty good. If you wanted to get out there, next couple of days we will be dodging some showers Friday and Saturday. Still very warm in the upper 70s, but then notice it gets cooler back into the mid 50s on Monday. So it does return to back below normal temperatures for this time of the year, but still pretty good looking forecast. I'll have a look at that 7-day coming up. But for right now, let's take a look at what is going on those roads, which is overall not too bad. We did have a report of an accident. This looks like it wasn't a major accident and not on any of the interstates. But other than that, I haven't seen much in the way of delays across the Miami Valley this morning.
A streaming giant is getting a new look. HBO Max is rebranding to what will be called Max. It's also adding content from HBO's new parent company. Warner Media merged with Discovery last year to form Warner Brothers Discovery. When it did, it brought more content brands under one umbrella. Max will offer contents from properties including HBO, HGTV, Food Network, Cartoon Network, and TLC. It is scheduled to maintain HBO Max's current price point of $15.99 per month and launches on May 23rd.
Imagine by John Lennon, Like a Virgin by Madonna, and Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You are now on the National Recording Registry. Those songs and the Super Mario Brothers theme were among the 25 recordings Librarian of Congress Carla Hayden named as audio treasures on Wednesday. Super Mario Brothers is the first video game theme ever added to the registry. The new additions also include Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. Oh yeah, Queen Latifah's All Hail the Queen. The new titles bring the total number of songs selected for the National Recording Registry to 625. Well, behind me is an Instagram post from Greene Fox. She's the daughter of Jamie Foxx, who is now recovering after suffering some kind of medical scare. She did not release many details on her Oscar-winning dad, only saying Fox, quote, experienced a medical complication Tuesday. Now, she shared that he was on his way to recovery due to a quick action and great care, and ended her post with asking for prayers and privacy for the family. A spokesperson for Fox declined to share any further information. Best of luck on his recovery.
Absolutely. Our time right now is 6:26. We're going to take a live look out of Richmond, Indiana, where crews are continuing to still work to put out that fire at a recycling plant there. We are going to have the very latest for you coming up next.
And a major event returning to Dayton. Just ahead, the big economic boost that gets underway today across the Miami Valley.
But first, here's Nick Cauldron with America Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
Work, the gym, kids, pets, running around all day with errands. I don't know about you, but by the end of all that, the end of the day, my back hurts. I can feel it, and I know you can too. Let me show you a product that will ease your back pain, but still keep you on the go. This is the Calming Heat Back Wrap. It's wearable, super comfortable, and totally customizable. It has 9 different settings, all available right here on the remote control, including, get this, heat, level 1 right there, vibration, and my favorite, the lumbar support. Right now, this thing is inflating against my lower back, almost like a blood pressure cuff, and easing my low back pain. It works for me. I bet it will work for you. I've struggled with back pain for years, and airline seats send me into spasms almost every time I fly. But now I don't worry about that because I wear this thing on the plane and I arrive at my destination virtually pain-free. It works, and it can work for you too. Right now, we're offering an exclusive 35% off the Calming Heat Back Wrap. Seriously, take advantage of this offer right now. Head to asadeals.com. Your back will thank you.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. New York City introducing their first ever rat czar. Yeah, she is tasked with battling 2 million rodents. Okay, so what's the first step? Is it cheese? Is it the mousetraps? You get paid like
pizza. Just leave out slices of pizza.
Look how much you're getting paid. $170,000 a year to kill rats.
Yeah, as much as I don't like them, I would hate killing them.
I don't know, just blowtorch works.
And check this out, Run Goose Run! Goose is joining a half marathon in Kansas City. It didn't register for the race, but it did keep up with the runners.
Yeah, you don't need to yell at the goose to run. You need to yell at the people behind or in front, because
Look, he's like running and recording on his phone.
Look how fast that one dude's run. Yeah, I don't know. That thing, the geese are evil. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah, they like to bite.
Rats and geese.
And the Terminator. Taking on potholes. Check this out. Arnold Schwarzenegger out putting in some heavy labor. He got tired of a pothole not being filled in his neighborhood, so he took matters into his own hands. I think we see another movie coming in the franchise. The potholes. I don't know. That's so lame. No. Yeah, this is sad. This morning, we begin with a live look at the fire still burning in Richmond, Indiana. It's mostly smoke from this angle this morning at that Indiana recycling plant, excuse me.
Yeah, and again, Nathan just mentioned mostly just smoke at this point, but it's still causing problems for people who do live in the area. They are wanting people to still, stay safe and stay away from, I believe it's a half-mile radius. So just keep that in mind if you're in the area.
No school again today for Richmond Community Schools. They made this post on Facebook saying they encourage everyone to follow the shelter-in-place order still in effect from the Emergency Management Agency.
The evacuation zone remains the same this morning. Again, it's half a mile from the site of the fire. You can see it right there on your screen. Anyone in that area without a place to stay can go to Oak Park Pentecostal Church. Now, people in Richmond are wondering when their lives will be able to return to normal.
Gwyneth Falloon spoke with the community about how this is affecting them.
It's crazy.
Residents still unable to return home Wednesday night. Have you been able to go drive by your home at all or see kind of what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just a big smoke cloud coming up through the backyard.
So you don't feel safe staying there?
No.
Matt Rudisil lives less than a mile away from the recycling plant. He says he, his wife, and their family pets evacuated in just a half hour.
It's very stressful, and not knowing when and seeing the smoke clouds when you're coming from work and back home or back to wherever you're staying at, and not knowing when you're going to be able to get in and out of your home.
Local business owners just outside of the evacuation zone also expressing their concerns.
We started to wonder how far it was going to come.
Owner Rick Schrader tells me he watched the fire rapidly spread from his business, Complete Power, across the street.
We were watching it and had considered evacuating.
Schrader says unfortunately a number of his employees have been displaced and is helping them as necessary, in addition to lending his parking lot as a temporary command post for law enforcement and media.
We were glad to be able to help that we could, provide whether just restroom facilities or electricity or whatever, just so you give somebody a chance to get out of the sun.
Residents and community members say the building was mostly unused and abandoned, now demanding answers from the city.
Driving by there all the time, you would see it and you'd be like, that's a fire hazard waiting to happen.
The Wayne County Emergency Management Agency says the EPA is monitoring the air in the area. So far, the samples are picking up smoke as expected, and there's also looking for combustion expected from plastics fire. So far, they haven't found any of those specific toxin compounds in their air monitoring. City leaders are urging you to stay away from the area of the fire, but if you are around it, make sure you wear a mask. A cloth and surgical mask will filter out large particles. Smaller particles will require an N95 mask. If you find yourself in a plume of smoke, get out and seek safety.
Government leaders here in Ohio are being kept in the loop on how the situation has played out. Lieutenant Governor John Husted says he and Ohio Governor Mike DeWine are being briefed on the fire. The lieutenant governor tells us there was a level of concern, especially after February's toxic train derailment in East Palestine.
We want to have a comprehensive investigation done so that we know the facts and that the people in the local communities can be informed about any potential fallout that might have occurred.
He also said an emergency team in Richmond is providing updates to the governor from the scene.
The city of Richmond set up a community helpline. That number's right there on your screen, 765-973-9300. The city also has a web page for more information. You can find it by heading to the city's website at richmondindiana.gov.
As we get more updates from the aftermath of this fire, we'll alert you here on air and through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. With the app, you can get breaking news alerts sent to the palm of your hand. Just take out your camera and scan that QR code right there on your screen to download the app. You can also find it in the Google Play and Apple App stores. And we'll also be providing updates on our social media accounts. Be sure to follow and like the pages you see on your screen to get the latest information.
Well, nice one across the Miami Valley today. Beautiful start to our morning. We're in the 50s and 40s, so light sweater needed as you head out the door. 51 in Dayton. Cool spot, Xenia, sitting at 41. That's certainly our chillier spot, although it is sitting at 43 in Springboro. But pretty much wherever you are this morning, light sweater will do for now, but you will not need it at all by later into the day. In fact, kids heading out to the bus stop, going to be a pretty nice start to the day. Upper 50s by 9 a.m. We warm up quickly, so although currently it's a little chilly, once the sun is up, temperatures will really begin to climb. 70 by around lunchtime, mid 70s by the afternoon, and could get close to 80 degrees. Let's look at our forecast. Look at our roads. Looks like, let me check where that one is. Looks like it's cut off on the bottom, but it does look like there is an accident going on there. I'm going to have to get some information on that. Certainly looks like that is causing some delays. That's I-75 at 3rd Street. So it does look like they are down to one lane due to that accident. So if you are heading I-75, do expect some delays. You can see even at Main Street it is causing some backup. So we're going to get more information on that. But right now it does look like there is a pretty bad accident on I-75 at 3rd Street this morning.
A former student teacher at Liberty Junior School in Butler County is avoiding jail time after admitting to having sex with a student. The woman on your screen is Anna DeTore, is sentenced to treatment for 6 months. She'll also have to register as a Tier 2 sex offender. Back in February, she pleaded guilty to 1 count of sexual misconduct with a minor and 1 count of sharing material harmful to juveniles. The judge could have sentenced her up to 2 years in prison, but instead ruled she needed to remain in treatment due to previous trauma.
The Winter Guard International Championship kicks off today. On your screen now, the locations where the teams will be competing. The WGI Championship brings in a ton of revenue for the city, and teams from across the globe and their fans make the trip to Dayton. The competition lasts for 3 days, and the teams that advance will eventually compete at UD Arena for the title. If you want to see the performances, you can head to the website on your screen, WGI.org, but hurry because tickets are selling out fast.
Our time right now is 6:39. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Take me out to the ball game. I just want some Cracker Jacks. The Dayton Dragons looking to bounce back at home. Just ahead, Matt Digby has highlights from Dare Ballpark.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, beautiful morning across the Miami Valley, talking about a great sunrise. I can see the moon right now, which is also a pretty sight this morning. It's just going to be a beautiful day. Great morning for maybe a cup of coffee out on the patio. 40s and 50s across the board right now, but by 9 a.m. we get into the upper 50s, back into the lower 70s by around lunchtime. So we warm up nicely. Shorts and short sleeves type of day by the afternoon hours, close to 80 as we head later into the afternoon as well. So just looking really good. But by Friday, we do start to see cloud cover that will begin to build in ahead of our next weather maker. So this is also going to bring a spotty shower or two by our Friday afternoon. Not going to be a complete washout, but I would keep that umbrella handy during the day on Friday. Now, once that system moves through, another chance for some rain on Saturday, but notice how temperatures fall. So by Sunday, we'll have highs in the 60s, but falling temperatures expected by our Sunday afternoon and evening as a cold front makes its way in. 50s back in the forecast by Monday, and then eventually we'll be at 60 by next Tuesday.
Good morning, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. It was almost a comeback win Tuesday in the Dayton Dragons home opener, but that game went to the Great Lakes Loons. However, that's the thing about pro baseball. Win or lose, more often than not, there's a game the very next day. So Wednesday, the two teams back in action. Carson Rudd, the Dragons starting pitcher, he would have a strong start individually, but we begin in the bottom of the first. Tyler Callahan, with the bases loaded, sends this pitch deep to right center, clearing the wall for a first-inning grand slam. Great start for the home team. They're up 4-0. Then top of the second, Junior Garcia with a ground to the short. But check out Trey Faltini. He runs the ball down and gets to throw to first in time. Rudd retiring his first 7 batters faced. Top of the third, a runner on for Jake Vogel, but a grounder to Callahan at second. That will start a 4-6-3 double play. The Dragons beginning the game on fire, pun intended. It continues in the bottom of the third. Matt Nelson sends a deep fly ball to left field. That's gone for a solo home run, making it a 5-0 lead for the hosts. And Rudd will continue to keep the opposing batters at bay. A strikeout of Damon Keith coming in the 4th inning. The Loons do get a couple runs late, but the Dragons, with their first home win of the season, 7-3 the final, and that home sellout streak now at 1,443 games and counting. That does it for sports. I'm Matt Digby.
6:45 is our time right now. Hot diggity dog, a small fur ball setting a world record just ahead. The tiny animal making some big news.
Oh, just look at that, baby. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Beautiful sunrise this morning. Just a great start to the day. Picture perfect day. If you liked yesterday, you'll like today. Pretty much cut and paste type of day. You can see on our Eco Plumber sky cam, sun is rising. Temperatures will be climbing pretty quickly, although it's chilly right now. Once that sun is up, it's going to be warming up nicely. So 47 in Springfield right now. We have 44 Troy, 40 cold spot in Xenia. So certainly needing a jacket to keep yourself warm for right now. But as I mentioned, temperatures will warm nicely once that sun is up. Rain to our south. This is our next weather maker. This is going to be bringing us a small chance for showers as we head into the day tomorrow. Another spotty shower or two for Saturday, but it's not until Sunday. We got a cold front that will make its way in, and that's going to be bringing us a better shot at some rain. So there's a look tomorrow afternoon, spotty shower or two across the area. We'll continue with that chance for our Saturday. By Sunday, we start out quiet, but eventually rain will make its way in, becoming widespread as we head into our Sunday afternoon. This is as a cold front makes its way in, so temperatures will start to cool as well. Spotty shower again becoming possible, lingering into our early Monday morning. And then we'll start to see some cooler air that takes over as we head into the start of next week, 50s, mid-50s, in fact, by Monday. So it does get much cooler by the middle of next week. All right, that's a look at our forecast. Taking a look at what's going on the roads. If you are traveling 75 southbound, there was a vehicle fire, 2 right lanes blocked. That's I-75 south at 1st Street. It is backed up significantly. The entrance ramp is also partially blocked at 75 south at West 2nd Street. You can see the backup going on here. This is a look at 75 at 3rd Street where it is backed up significantly. So please allow some extra time if you are heading out this morning.
Amazon is taking new measures to try to get customers to return fewer of their online orders. That includes charging a fee to return items to UPS stores. Amazon will be starting charging customers a $1 fee if they return items to a UPS store when there is a Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh grocery store, or Kohl's closer to their delivery address. Amazon owns Whole Foods and Fresh and has a returns partnership with Kohl's. Also, Amazon recently started flagging frequently returned products on its website, adding a badge that might give customers pause before buying the item.
Take a look at this cutie patootie. Meet Pearl, the world's shortest dog. She's a 2-year-old Chihuahua from Orlando, Florida. Shorter than a popsicle stick and only about as long as a dollar bill. The pocket-sized pup is the new official holder of the Guinness World Record for shortest dog alive. It is, oh my gosh, it is actually related to the previous record holder, Miracle Millie, who had the same owner.
All right, don't get me wrong, this dog is very cute, but does anybody else have like an irrational fear of having a dog this size and a hawk coming in the backyard and grabbing it and making it lunch? Like, or is it just me?
You would definitely have to keep an extra eye on it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Easy to get lost.
I also fear stepping on a dog like that small.
I could be wrong, but I feel like most Chihuahuas are also grouchy little
Yeah.
gremlins.
I don't know. Do you have a dog?
I did have a Chihuahua mix, and she was a sweetheart.
Okay, all right.
But maybe it was the whatever she was mixed with. Maybe that was it, her redeeming quality. But yeah.
Oh, so yours did not get attacked by a hawk. It survived.
No, but it was a worry of mine. Yeah, she was a little bit bigger than that, though. So
yeah.
I would have
definitely
a heart attack.
lot bigger than a dollar
My
bill.
parents have they just got a puppy. She's a West Island White Terrier, and she's super itty bitty, and even taking her outside, I thought about that.
Yeah.
She was over at our house and there were vultures flying around. I'm like, oh,
That's
Lord.
what I'm telling you. Protect
Right.
him at all costs.
Yeah.
Our time right now is 6:52. Still to come this morning, we have live team coverage of that fire in Richmond, Indiana. You can see smoke still covering the community there. We've got live updates coming up.